Hello, Junk Nation. What's going on? It's Britton. We are super excited to be celebrating National Bike Month with you guys. And a part of our celebration, we have brought along the Drew crew, Sarah and Richard Drew. Welcome, guys. How you guys doing?
Great. Thanks for having us on.
Doing good. Very
Hi,
excited.
Junk fam.
Yeah, we're super excited. Just kind of give some people some more insight as far as what National Bike Month's all about and what Northwest Arkansas has to offer. So first and foremost, I got to know what makes Northwest Arkansas the mountain bike capital of the world.
Oh man. I think it's probably the trails are just everywhere and super accessible. I did not ride a bike before we moved here. We tried years ago in Dallas and it was pretty volatile trying to learn from him. And since we moved here, it's so easy to hop on the trails and there's people to ride with. And it's just been an amazing experience. What would you say?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of reasons. The trails, of course, there's trails everywhere. You got to have trails to be the mountain bike capital of the world, but the community plays a big role. So one of the best parts about being here is how friendly everybody is on the trail. And people who come here from out of town, who've been to these meccas of mountain biking, one of the first things they say is, man, everybody here is so nice. Yeah. And I think that's one of the key things, the trails, the community, and the amenities. It's just, yeah, it's very amazing and it's very fitting to be called the mountain bike capital of the world.
Yeah, and you guys are lucky. You know, you're living right there in the middle of it and you're able to experience it right from basically the comfort of your home. Is that right?
Oh yeah. So we live about half a mile from the trail, and we are half a mile from the square as well. So the middle of town, and it's so nice to be able to hop on the trail. We have a 5-year-old, almost a 5-year-old, and it's so nice to be able to, as a busy mom, as business owners, be able to hop on the trail at half a mile away, ride for an hour, hour and a half, and be home and get back to the rest of life. It doesn't have to be a 4 or 5 hour ordeal.
No, I mean, that's the thing is we left Dallas, and to go ride anywhere in Dallas, it's 30 minutes at the least each way to, pack up and drive. And sometimes you're sitting in traffic. So no, we can literally go out of the garage and the trails are right there. And once we get on, there's 150 miles plus of trails. So yeah, it's pretty incredible. Well, it's my office.
Yeah, and for people visiting, Airbnbs are all over the place, all over the trails here close in town, but then also on some of the other trail systems as well. And so it's super accessible for people visiting too. They don't have to load up their bikes and drive far once they get here.
Yeah. Right. Well, so you guys have traveled kind of all over the globe as far as being able to hit different trails and seeing different spots. What makes Northwest Arkansas kind of different than the rest?
Oh, that's easy. Accessibility. There's nowhere in the world that has the accessibility that Northwest Arkansas has. There's literally, like from where we're sitting right now doing this interview, 150, 60 miles. And, in another 6 months, there'll probably be another 20 or 30. So the accessibility, first and foremost, the sheer volume of trails, but then also I think the diversity of how the trails are built. Like the majority of mountain bike riders, they don't want to ride mountains. They want to ride stuff that's fun, that's flowy, that's not relatively dangerous, that's very accessible. And this place provides that in spades. And again, we've been a lot of places, and there's very few places where Sarah, Dex, and I could go ride as a family for a couple of hours. And he's always into snacks when he rides. So we end back at downtown and we have some great snack options. So it's an amazing place in that regard.
Well, there's great options on the trail where we can be together as a family. And if Rich wants to pull off and hit some gnarly stuff, he's able to go do that and then meet back up at the bottom of the trail with Dex and I. So, and pretty soon Dex will be doing the gnarly stuff with him, and then I'll just be following behind.
Yeah, I think the ability to kind of have the beginners be able to have fun, as well as, the intermediate and the experts kind of all be able to join together and kind of run those routes together. I know earlier we talked and you guys kind of compared it to like a ski resort kind of vibe where it's fairly clearly marked as far as the difficulty of the trails and things like that. Can you guys go into depth a little bit more about kind of what that looks like from the unexperienced user's standpoint?
Yeah, I think it's like a ski town in a lot of ways. Like you said, the trails are easily marked green, blue, black diamond. And so a newer person knowing that system can stick to greens, and they know to stay on that. And as you're advancing, you then know, okay, now I'm going to do blue. So that makes it super easy. But it's also like a ski town where people are just really in a good mood when they're out on the trails. Like if you're skiing, everyone's kind of on vacation and having a good time. And it's the same here. It's hard to find someone on the trail that's grumpy. So you're either running into friends that you already know, or you're making friends along every ride you go on, which is a really cool feeling.
Well, and everything starts right from downtown, basically, too. So you have this incredible downtown that's just, it's very metropolitan.
And it's charming though at the same time.
It's very charming. It has all these incredible amenities, amazing food, coffee, arts. Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art is literally right there. And so everything starts from this downtown. And so you can ride away and go as far as you want. If you're a newer rider, maybe your fitness isn't there, you go ride for a couple miles, you turn around and come back. If you're a higher level rider, you can ride out further and see more things and hit more trail. But you know, when you get back, the restaurants, the coffee, all of those things, it's really hard to find that in these mountain bike towns, these mountain bike meccas. And the Northwest Arkansas area has it in spades.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have a favorite route that you guys like to go to as a family? You mentioned you have your son with you as well. So is there like one specific route that you guys enjoy the most?
Ooh, man, you're asking the tough questions today. That's hard, dude. It's, you know, I think as a family,
All American
yeah. is great. This is going to be a multifaceted answer here. So.
I love it.
All American is great because All American is kind of the gateway to the Oz Trails. It starts at Lawrence Plaza. It's suited for almost every rider. So it's really fun. You see a bunch of people, you interact with a bunch of people, but there's a spot called Leopard's Loop. Leopard's Loop is really cool. It's at Lincoln Junior High. It's this little downhill flow trail and it's paved. And what that means is you can pretty much ride it whatever the weather's like. Yeah. And Dex loves it. And it's just slightly downhill, so he can let off the brakes a little bit and get going pretty fast. And then you just turn around and ride right back up. So we can go session that over and over again. And he digs it. It's one of those things that it's exciting for him. It's exciting for me. And Mama Bear even digs it. So
I have a third option.
Okay.
I'm going to say as a family, I really love going to Kohler Mountain Bike Preserve. So it's a little west of downtown.
Yeah, like 2 miles.
2 miles, so it's not far. But and so we'll drive there if we have decks. But it is this beautiful preserve with a creek running through it. But one of my favorite spots is in the middle of the trail. There's a greenway that runs through it as well. And so in the middle is Airship Coffee, which is great coffee, great tacos, great treats. Great architecture.
Yeah.
Like it's just a beautiful spot too. We can ride the trails. There's the small ones for decks, bigger ones, you know, for Here I. And so we'll go there and spend. I mean, there was one time we were doing a junk event with you guys for a sheepdog impact assistance, and I helped Rich set up for an event. Dex and I stayed there for I think 6 hours. Yeah. Just we rode. We started off with breakfast at Airship. We rode. We ate cookies. We rode some more. We just played in the creek.
That's a prime example. Like I could not think of a better example. Staying there all day and having breakfast, then having lunch, having coffee, and you have spots where you can get out of the elements if it's in the summer and it's hot.
Yeah. Yeah. So lots of spots we like.
We'll stick with those three.
Both of those sounded amazing. I think as Junk kind of gets more involved with the biking community and things like that, I know you guys play your part as well. What's your suggestions to somebody who's maybe looking at trying out mountain biking, or maybe is, you know, thinking about booking a trip maybe to Northwest Arkansas? What's some of the suggestions you guys have for somebody who's potentially looking to get into the sport?
First suggestion is do it. Don't think about it. Do it. You must do it. If riding a mountain bike is at all in your dreams or desires, come to Northwest Arkansas and make it happen.
Well, and you can rent bikes here. Most of the bike shops in town have rentals. Reserve in advance because it's busy. It's busy here. But rent a bike. If you don't have to bring one. You don't have to buy one. Just get here, rent a bike. They'll give you a helmet. I think that's probably the easiest way if you're traveling in to get here and enjoy it.
And you can start on a lower level too. Like if you've never been on a mountain bike, just because it's the mountain bike capital of the world doesn't mean you have to ride a mountain bike. It's not required. You can start on a cruiser. You know, the other day we went and we did a little video for Downtown Bentonville Inc. And we went and got these e-bike cruisers, like Specialized Comos, super fun, like a towny sort of bike. And,
big cushion seat and
super comfortable and just rips, goes like 28 miles an hour. And we just cruised around town and we hit all these spots. We left We went down to A Street Market. We went to the Momentary, which is a modern art museum. We got a snack. We cruised around downtown, went to Crystal Bridges, and we stopped at the Hub and got a drink. And it was just a really fun way to cruise around, soak up the town, and stay on the greenway in the streets. So the infrastructure is pretty friendly to navigate by bike. So that's a great way to start. And then if you decide, okay, you want to get on a mountain bike, again, like she said, you can rent them anywhere. They'll give you a helmet. As long as you have some decent closed-toed shoes, you can just go out and explore a little bit. It's easy. It's easy to have fun. It's very friendly. The people will help. Anybody who's out there will probably see, okay, hey, this looks like a newer rider, and they'll give you some insight. But yeah, definitely, I think it's worth doing, especially if you're athletic and you're looking for something that's a new challenge or maybe a different little workout to add into the mix. It's a great way to do it.
So along with the mountain biking, you guys mentioned the hundreds of trails that Northwest Arkansas has to offer. What about some of the other amenities that kind of go along with the trails? Whether you guys mentioned, coffee shops, the museum, things like that. Can you touch a little bit on some of that stuff as far as the world just connected, but right outside of the mountain biking world?
Yeah, it's funny. I grew up in Houston and then spent 15 years in Dallas. And so when he wanted us to first even just visit before moving, I could not grasp it. I didn't quite understand what would be here. And I was sold on it the first time I came. And that was almost 3 years ago. So a lot has happened since then. But we love, coffee shops. You have Onyx, you have Meteor, you have Airship that we love. You've got the Hub. You have great food right in the square at Press Room.
I think there's 2
Oven and Tap Pizza.
Yeah, I think there's 2 James Beard award-winning chefs just in the downtown area. So it's incredible. And people don't quite understand the scope until they get here, but Walmart is based here. It was the Fortune 1 company until Amazon took over, but it's a massive company and they have a huge vendor network, and that brings people in from all over the world, from these major cities. And those people, they need to have things here that can serve those people. So nice restaurants, nightlife, art, all those things. And so that's part of what we have here. And the nature is incredible. Like, we talk about this amazing downtown, but if you go a couple miles north of here, one of our favorite spots to go to is called Tanyard Creek. So it's this really cool little area, this little preserve where the water flows through and we can get in, and we've gone and spent 2-3 hours there, bring a little picnic and hang out and eat. And I think that's just one example of a lot of different things you could do. The Buffalo Outdoor Center isn't far. You could go down and do a float down there and hike and see some of these cool things. Hawksbill Crag is one of those things that you see in pictures all the time from Northwest Arkansas. So there's a ton of different places.
Well, and that's what's great too, is sometimes in a partnership, there's one person that wants to ride and maybe one that doesn't, or there's kids involved, and so you're looking for other activities. And this is definitely a place that if maybe, one of you does not want to ride, you can totally fill your schedule with a lot of other fun activities that outdoors and even some indoor stuff. Yeah.
Fishing.
Fly fishing.
There's so many people like fishing, and a new place just opened, Osage Park. This incredible park literally just opened this week. And it's hard to describe, but it's just this space that is really natural. It's
over
not
the wetlands.
Overdeveloped, over the wetlands, so you can go fish. They have some food trucks. It's just, we can keep going.
No, it sounds awesome. And we talked a little bit before this call as well, talking a little bit about how I went down a rabbit hole of your YouTube channel where you guys feature, a lot of this different stuff. So can you guys touch a little bit about your YouTube channel and kind of what you hope to accomplish through that channel?
Yeah, definitely. I was a professional mountain bike rider. I raced professionally for a few years, and I came to that a little bit later in life. So I kind of parlayed social media into something bigger, and YouTube just kind of happened. And so it's grown a decent amount. And so if you want to check that out, it's just Rich Drew is the name of that channel. And I think I've been really lucky. We've tried to be very positive first and foremost, but be entertaining, educational, try to put things out that make a difference in people's lives. There's a lot of people now that want to buy bikes. So we try to do as many bike reviews as possible to give people some insight on what bike should I buy. The other piece is, once you get the bike, you got to go out and ride. So you need some confidence, you need some know-how. And so we've tried to make as many videos as we can to help people with that. And I think moving forward, we're going to try to do a little bit more, try to provide some more insight, where to ride, So specific places for specific people, but also I think one thing that's kind of come to light recently is to try to showcase some more true diversity in the sport. One of the things when we moved here from Dallas, we were surrounded by diversity. You know, our street was amazing. It's something that we really wanted for our son. So coming here, it's Arkansas. And one of the things that Sarah noticed when we came to visit was it's very white. It's very majority white people. And we were really yearning to have some more diversity for our son. And thankfully it's here. We've found it and we have it in the cycling community. And what we've realized is we can showcase it a little bit. And that moving forward is what we want to do, because we've met some amazing people of all colors, of sexual orientations, you name it. And when we're all on the bike, we're just out having fun, enjoying nature and enjoying each other's company. So we're going to try to highlight that as much as we can moving forward, because we think it's an important thing.
Yeah, that's kind of the beauty of something like this, you know, mountain biking or music or fitness, things like that. These are all things that can bring us all together. And I think there's a big majority of us that really want that. And we want to be able to use the things we're passionate about to bring that unity. And I think you guys are a great representation, not only of yourselves and your family, but of the Junk family as well. And we really appreciate you guys taking some time today and hanging out with us and touching base a little bit about what Northwest Arkansas has to offer for the biking community and helping us celebrate National Bike Month here at Junk. So thank you so much. Where can our followers find you guys on social media?
Mine's easy, and then I'll let you go. I'm just at Sarah Colvin Drew. And then
I got a few. The Instagram, follow me on the gram at the Rich Drew. Again, I just try to do things that are very positive, very entertaining, a lot of behind the scenes when we shoot. So there's a lot of mama bear, there's a lot of baby bear, there's a lot of coffee and food in that. So yeah, check that out. And then again, Rich Drew is the YouTube. And then if you want to get into riding, if you're looking for some insight, if maybe you want to come to one of our clinics, check it out. It's the Ride Series MTB Skills Clinics. We're going to be traveling all over the place. We're going to be in Indianapolis, Chicago, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Colorado, Utah, Arizona, California, worldwide. So yeah, we're going to be all over the place this summer and fall. And if anybody's out there and thinking, you know, I'd kind of like to get into riding a mountain bike and you're not sure where to start, shoot either of us a message. We're happy to answer. One of the most important things is make sure you have a Junk headband under the helmet. That's key to not chafe your forehead.
Not get sweat in your eyes too.
Yeah. But shoot us a message, because we'd love to help you out and give you some insight, because it's an amazing addition to any fitness program, but also it's very therapeutic to get out and ride and deal with the stressors of life. So yeah, I think that's it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys, for joining us and helping us celebrate National Bike Month. And I'm sure we'll catch up with you guys again soon.
That was our pleasure. We're looking forward to doing it again soon.
All right. Sounds good. See you guys later.